Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in again. I am Kaylee Batesman, the content director at SheCanCode. And in today's episode, we're discussing cracking the fintech code, secrets to success as a woman in tech. Although fintech is largely male-dominated, there have been some positive steps in the right direction, but significant barriers still exist which need to be urgently addressed to bring about equality. So in this unbalanced world, how do women achieve success and excel in the fintech industry? To answer this question, I have the wonderful Keren Ben Zvi, VP of Data at PayU with me today. Welcome, Keren.
Hello, hi.
Thank you so much for taking the time to join us, Keren. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm very honored to be here, a guest in this podcast.
I'm excited about this conversation today, and we've got so much to cover. But we're going to kick off with a little bit of background about yourself, if that's okay, please.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have been bringing business value through data over than 15 years. I specialized in business analytics, machine learning, and data architecture. I've had the opportunity to lead teams across a wide range of fields, starting from social media, edtech at Perion, even e-commerce and supply chain. I also got unique opportunity to work as an advisor for, all kinds of data. So I really saw like many data modules, and I determined the gaps in between. I also working as a lecturer, and I just paused for this year for data analyst and at master school and in product expert here in Israel. My previous job was VP of Data at Perion. Perion is a public company and dealt with edtech. I joined less than a year ago to PayU, one of the biggest global fintech company in the world. And this is more or less my journey.
Because you've only just moved into the fintech industry. How did that happen? What was there something about it that you thought, yeah, that's definitely my next move? I mean, you were VP of Data at a company before. Did that seem like a logical move to you, or did somebody encourage you into the fintech industry?
So to be fair, fintech was always a thing that I was interested to understand and to discover. And basically, I didn't really have, I've got opportunities from time to time to deal with stock market data. For example, when I was head of data at Seeking Alpha. Seeking Alpha, this is a content company that deals with articles and contributors and, authors and stuff. But fintech in particular, right, to actually oversee transactions end to end. So that's the first time. And I'm happy for, I'm happy from the opportunity to join a fintech industry. Never saw such challenges before when it comes to data. So here we have to deal with very accurate data. We have to maintain the integrity of the data. So I was really curious to understand that. I just was kind of waiting for the right opportunity to join. So here we are.
Yeah. And so it sounds like, I mean, you saying there, the way you said challenges, you actually said that in quite a positive way, even though challenges sounds like it's going to be hard. You phrase that as it's an exciting place to be because you have to overcome such challenges. Is that, I was going to ask what makes a career in fintech so exciting, but is that one of the exciting things, that there are lots of challenges that you have to overcome day to day?
Yeah. So basically, it does. It's very challenging. When it comes to data, so we work, as a global platform. We basically collect all of our data from the local platforms. So when it comes to data, there are many challenges, like, to map the data correctly, to normalize the data, to maintain accuracy, and to do that near real time all the time. So you have to maintain high scale and at the same time to be accurate. That's, for example, a challenge that doesn't exist in EdTech. EdTech, you have to maintain scale. Doesn't really matter the accuracy because we work B2B, B2C. But here, because we work more B2B, we have to maintain accuracy. We have to be aligned with the invoices all the time to drill down into discrepancies if they do exist. So this is like from the data perspective, and in fintech overall. Fintech sector, I found that the digital payments that got extend more and more. That's a very exciting area, because you can find innovation in payment methods and in the way it's been growing. And we in the data, we have a lot of opportunities to positively impact lives and improve experience among users. And it's challenge on the one hand, but it's very exciting on the other hand.
I suppose that takes a certain person as well, doesn't it? I mean, you're saying about accuracy. That takes a certain mindset to think that's a career, that's a responsibility that I would like to take on as well if you went into an industry like fintech.
So accuracy is just part of it. I mean, of course, to communicate with the stakeholders, to bring them data as a service, to present the report, to understand the business, to expand and to extend the learning curve. There are a bunch of things. I just, focus on the accuracy because you asked more about challenges, but yes, I mean, in data, that's the most, let's say, diverse topic that exists in technology, because we have a bunch of things that we have to achieve. Starting from a data engineer, when you have to build the orchestration right, and you have to maintain high scale and to capture high scale from time to time. And you also have to maintain cost efficiency. There's a bunch of things that related more to data analyst. Here you have to maintain accuracy, of course, to calculate all the KPIs and all the measurements that PayU as a whole wants to measure. And we also have innovation. That's my thing. I really like when you have opportunities to expand more data as a product, other data as a service, and we have product data that they are more responsible, to hold this bucket called data. So we have diversity. We should maintain accuracy, as I said before, but accuracy just an age. We have a bunch of things, and yes, I found it very challenging and very interesting. And I think that when I started my career back then, gosh, I'm old, 2006. So when I started the career, someone just told me to collect the data. He was the project manager. I needed to collect the data to put everything in one report. And I worked as a student, partial, part-time, and he didn't know back then that he's gonna influence my career. That I'm gonna learn about this report, why they want to collect this data, to ask the right question, what are they gonna do with this data, who is the analyst that should take my report and early in the morning should slice and dice it and try to get some insight out of it. So I think basically this is where I got my first opportunity to deal with data. Obviously, I reviewed a bunch of stuff. I also worked as a backend and full stack, and there was nothing similar in terms of my passion and my capability to demonstrate. You said accuracy, but also communication level when it comes to data. So I sticked with data. I think this is my thing.
Yeah, I mean, you had a lot of experience in data already. What did you think of the fintech industry before you went in it? Did you have any kind of preconceived ideas about what it might be like? There's that stereotypical thing in not just in tech, but in certain areas. That some areas are quite dry and a little bit boring to work in. And then when I actually speak to ladies that work in those areas, they say, you know what, that is just so far removed from what my actual day to day is like. Did you have any ideas of, you know, what the fintech industry was going to be like before you joined?
Yeah, I mean, I could imagine, you know, that there is like a buyer on the one hand, there's a merchant on the other hand, and we have to connect in between them and to make transactions go smoothly in between and to work as a facilitator. So yeah, I could imagine what what kind of data I'm going to deal with. But, you know, of course, I couldn't predict exactly what I'm going to see or like where I'm going to be or what challenges I'm gonna face with. But yeah, I could imagine, because look, as I work 3 years ago as a consultant, yeah. So I saw, for example, the chain word, the chain word and the fashion word and e-commerce and stuff. So they all deal with payment in the end, right? I mean, they're having like API, and from now on, they go to payment. So I could imagine what kind of data we are shifting to them. So I was like, you know, thinking that when I joined fintech, that on the other side, there's someone that actually needs to capture the data that is been sending by invoices and stuff. So yeah, I could imagine, but again, there are like things that I couldn't predict back then, that we are dealing with a, you know, huge scale of data that we deal with. I didn't know that there exist, you know, more than 400 different payment methods other than credit cards and wallet and stuff. There are like a bunch of stuff that you have to interact with and to map it accordingly. That we work for more than 50 markets around the world. And, you know, distributed databases and stuff, this is not a thing that I could imagine, but yes.
Yeah. And from your experience, do you feel that the industry is supportive of women and diversity?
So yeah, I have here an article in front of me. It was written by Deloitte UK that speaks about approximately 30% of fintech workforce are women, on which only 17% are senior positions. So those are, you know, very depressing, I would say, data. You know, I'm very privileged to work in data because I always exposed to the numbers, so I can speak with you about the numbers and percentage all the time. So look, those are very sad percentage. We should, you know, we should be striving in this industry in particular, and all of the sector, to boost those percentage and make it much more higher. I can speak about PayU as a whole. Here we are demonstrating totally different numbers. We have 50% of women that they are managers here at PayU, which that's a number to be proud of. New joiners, same number, almost same number, 47% for 2022, another number to be proud of, I think. And with a huge disclaimer about what I'm going to say, we have to keep pushing. Okay, I mean, that's not enough. Okay, we have 50%. I believe, you know, I just told you I joined less than a year ago. I believe those are the results of very hard work done by the HR team together with the board members and, you know, everyone that participated in this orchestration in order to make things happen. And yes, I mean, what is very exciting here is that new joiners that we have during 2022 are women. So this is very good number. You know, I have to say also that PayU operates in emerging markets like LATAM or even India. So there we have 40% of women. That's even more remarkable, I think. And again, we have to keep pushing. I mean, for example, here at PayU, we have a very unique program called You Shine. UShine, it's a program that basically can promote employees, women employees, to be a manager. That's a session, I think 6-7 sessions that walk them through the management, the ownership, how to do some career progression, together with work-life balance. I think that's a very good initiative. And that's as a company, but again, we as a human being, we have to make it happen as well, right? I mean, we cannot let the work and the organization or the corporate to do things that we can do by ourselves. So, for example, in this role, together with being a VP of data at PayU, I'm also part of a women's group. Two groups, two communities, we call it here in Israel. One of them is women in the industry. Women in industry, we basically are basically helping young entrepreneurs that are women to get that just got a seed investment. Seed is a very small portion of money that they have to subsidize all the things around them. And we basically contribute our knowledge to help them kick off their product, their vision, their orchestration. We do that for free, just to push them and to make them succeed even more. Mm-hmm. So that's one community. Another community that's for different purpose, I would say, called the Ba'ot. So the objective here, as I said, is a little bit different. We have a unique program for women that just graduated university, or a specific course or something that related technology. So engineering, like the area that I arrived from, I was graduated the information system engineering here in Ben Gurion University in Israel. So basically, we take a bunch of people that want to participate and that want to participate, and they want to expand their skill set, in order to get prepared for the first position or certain kind of interview that it's more related to technical things. And here we have a program that I'm here as a mentor for 30 hours that they're investing. And they're creating their own orchestration, what we called MVP, minimal viable product, just on 30 hours. All right, they can combine it with work-life balance, with another job that they have. And that's basically, the purpose here is that we want to reinforce their success, their self-belief, and that's also, an initiative that we do here in Israel, just to make things happen and just to have them more ready for the next position or the new position, the first position. They are very young most of the time and feel a little insecure from the overall industry, not in particular fintech, but yeah, this is what we do.
Amazing. And I, as well, I think you've got that right as a company, because a lot of hard work would have gone into getting those numbers, getting those ladies into management. And as you mentioned, the other programs that you work with, it's not something that happens magically, is it, diversity? I think a lot of companies just kind of think, well, we'll keep putting it out there and we might get to a 50-50 split at some point. But, a lot of hard work obviously goes into it, doesn't it? It's not just an overnight thing.
Yeah, absolutely. We also have, a D&I, a leadership. You mentioned hard work. So yeah, I mean, there's like a combination of, the person himself as a whole, together with the company. Forgot to mention, PayU also, we have D&I leadership here at PayU, which is a diversity and inclusion. And continuously we're striving, to create diverse and inclusive, a safe place to work, safe environment for the people and the community. So this program always, pushing leaders mostly to to create inclusive work and the culture. We have a bunch of lectures, and basically the purpose is to extend the awareness. And it's not something that we only talking about. It's more something that you should see, that you should feel, that you should create. So also those numbers that I demonstrated before, those 50% of women that are managers. I don't know what the HR basically had to do in order to make things happen, but you see, those are the results. The numbers are the facts, and we have to keep pushing to maintain those great numbers. And I think the entire industry should keep pushing. Because I just got this Deloitte article made by some author here that saying that fintech suffered from 30% of women, which is that's depressing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I love the fact that you said that, it's a feeling, it's how you feel, and seeing action, which is why some companies can retain good female tech talent and some other companies can't. Obviously, it's that feeling that you have when you work in a company with a good culture. What do you think are the challenges women face within the industry?
Wow. Do you have 4 hours?
No, it's a loaded question.
So look, I'm going to surprise you by saying something, but I think that's also very important. All right. We also, as a human being, we have to have a good partner. All right. It doesn't really matter if you which kind of relationship you want to have in life. All right. If that's whatever you want to do, you have to find a good partner, because if you want to combine work-life balance, kids, second degrees, something that you want to do, you have to have someone to support you. And because, sometimes I would say even sometimes it's impossible to carry such a heavy bag by yourself. Yeah. So I believe that women in the industry, and not in particular fintech, should deal with work-life balance, balancing work and personal life responsibilities that can be very challenging for women, especially when the expectations from certain kind of population can be very, very demanding from time to time. Just add additional stress on women and making it be so difficult. And as I said before, sometimes even impossible. I would say that here, because of the things that, I just said that I worked as a lecturer, and we have community and we have things. So we already built our network in a way, but think about young woman that just graduated. She doesn't have a network or a mentorship or even an opportunity. And, I wish that someone could take me as a young woman when I graduated in one of the programs here. That might be helpful, just the awareness that we are kind of lost. And so I would say that they might need it to face with a network and mentorship opportunities that, challenges accessing those opportunities to have the right person that can push you and that can help you from time to time, even to consult whatever you find. I don't know, 2 contracts from two different companies, and you would like to make the decision. So yeah, someone that can support you, someone that can guide you, pros and cons, and just to walk you through this industry, right? I mean, this or just being other than doing, it's also good, right? I can also, say about things like, taking responsibilities. Women tend to take less responsibilities here because they think about, oh wow, how I'm going to deal with that, and ask questions like if they're capable of doing that or not, because they have a lot of stress from from the external circumstances and stuff. So those are more or less challenges, but as I said, if you have 4 hours, I can review with you about diversity and things like, many stuff. As I said before, emerging markets, I got the opportunity in first time in my life that I got the opportunity to see emerging markets and to interact with real women, with real people, and most of them are men, right? They're not even females, and so that was quite depressing to see that. And again, as I said, here in PayU, that's a little different. I'm talking about third parties, of course, and here in LATAM, we also have very key positions for women, and we kind of enjoy this flourish. I would say not only because of it, but also because of it, because they know how to do some time efficiency and to reduce cost and to care about many other factors that I believe it's more related to women words.
Yes, definitely. And there are lots of challenges that women face. But what more can companies do to support women in fintech? Is there more that companies could be doing?
Always, yeah. So as I said, this D&I that I just saw to expand the awareness, to speak about it a little bit, to make it more comfortable as a day-to-day talk, and to speak about it, and they can also implement diversity, not even related to gender, right? I mean, just diversity in terms of inclusion and policies, and they can also support and enforce policies and things like gender sectors, that they can push for equality if they want to onboard someone, so they can make sure that they have this amount of people, this amount of gender here and here, to just to make it more equal. Yeah. And ensuring that women have equal access and opportunities in their career. I just got the opportunity to shift one of the really greatest developer that I have from one department to another, only because I wanted her to retain. I wanted her to stay here at PayU. It was like she caused me also, almost a heart attack when she said that she wants to be exposed to new opportunities. So if there's honesty on the table and there's like open discussion, we could do much better, not to lose good brains and good skill sets like she had.
Yeah, because you were thinking new opportunities internally, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
How do we keep you?
Exactly. And of course, as I said, I do that personally, but we can, as a company, we can provide a mentorship and sponsorship programs like Baot, for example, the one that I participate. So if the company can push someone there, this is also something that we can do in order to do some career progression and to extend our skill set. This establishing, the mentorship program that can help women, not also in fintech, in the entire industry, right? To connect and to have more network, to interact with more people, and to understand more opportunities, and to open their eyes, and to be like an influencer even one day, right? I mean, that's not something that I cannot put on the table. Also, in combining hybrid work, that can help a lot. There are companies when the COVID over, that just, it's mandatory to go to the office 3 times a week, for example, okay? And here also in PayU, also in Perion, that I remember, that's very flexible, right? I mean, we don't measure you by the clock attendancy or something like that. We measure you by performance, by having creativity, certain level of good progress, good performance, good creativity, a level of stuff. And this is how people should be measured, and not by the time that they are in the office, and this is not a good KPI. Also, if we see biases and things like that, we can to push women to speak up, to say, hey, come on, this is not fair, this is that here and here I see some biases, and I do want to break something, because we always say sit at the table, sit at the table. It's not enough to sit at the table, okay? You can sit at the table and still keep your mouth shut. That wouldn't demonstrate anything, right? But if you sit at the table and you asking the right questions, and you actually investigating the topic, and you gaining more and more about the business, here is the place that you can actually contribute to the business. Here's the place that you can actually make things happen. I think so.
Yes, speaking up and being in an environment and a company where you feel comfortable to speak up and that you can have a voice is so important. Again, back to that retaining good talent and them just feeling like they work in an environment where they have a voice and can be heard.
Yeah.
What do you think has been crucial to achieving your success in fintech? I'm assuming it's a mixture of things, from role models through to obviously just your sheer hard work as well.
So as I said, I joined the fintech industry, less than a year ago, and I think that if you want to measure a success as a whole, so time or even a period of time should be a factor as well. So even though we did, really interesting things together, and we promoted innovation here at PayU, and we came up with solutions, from my experience and from people experience, and I have a wonderful team to work with. Still, I don't feel that I can speak about success in here, in the fintech world, but I can speak about success in general, what a person needs in order to be successful, if that's okay.
Yeah.
So I think that there's a bunch of discussion. There's a lot of things that are dealing with fixed mindset versus a growth mindset. It basically speaks about people that's tending to be more successful if they are pushing themselves to be with more knowledgeable, more people say best version of yourself. So yes, they're having this wish of being the best version of themselves, or like even to accumulate some skill sets and tools, and demonstrate capabilities or anything related, versus fixed mindset that you feel that you are enough, and learning wouldn't make this jump happen. And I think that's what makes a person to be more successful than the others, when he has the passion to learn and to extend.
Yes, I love that. Keren, we're almost out of time. I just wanted to ask you one final question.
So soon? Oh my!
I told you it flies by.
Wow.
Do you have any final advice for our listeners who are thinking about a career in fintech?
Wow. So yes, I have, but as I said before, I think that it is very important to have a certain level of a discipline when it comes to a new topic. I barely know fintech when I first arrived at PayU, and there's like we should understand that there's a level of patience that we have to pay when it comes to learning curve, and we want to accumulate more and more knowledge. So just we have to pay the time and dedicate it some time to learn, and I think that's essential. If a person just start running with no understanding, and even not in data, even in the technical world, even in the business aspect, we have to allocate some time to learn and to admit that we need to learn. All right. I mean, there's no expectations as far as I know, right? I mean, there are no expectations that you will understand and you will know all the dependencies and all the orchestration that the fintech industry demonstrates. That's insane. I mean, no one expects you to understand everything. So to allocate some time to learn, I would say, to find a good partner that can support you when there are some hiccups and you have to work, until the late night. So you have to have a partner. Doesn't matter who is this partner. So those are the things. And of course, try to adapt growth mindset approach always.
Yeah, and being at a company that allows you to learn as well. On your first point there about continually learning. So it's just being at a company that gives you the space to continually learn.
That was a fundamental and remarkable note from you. Yes, of course, to find something like that, of course.
Fabulous. Well, it's a lovely note to end it on because we are already out of time, Keren. So thank you so much for chatting with me today. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you. And to everybody listening, as always, thank you so much for joining us, and we hope to see you again next time.